What's going on with Big U and Wack100 right now? Because is Big U suing Wack or?
So Wack is weighing the option of suing Big U over the fact that Big U publicly called him like a snitch or an informant. And this kind of comes after. So at one point, Big U basically had this video that was very hyperbolic and full of, non-truths. And he basically gave it to WorldStar, told WorldStar, post this video. And the video was about how Wack is a snitch.
This is before he turned himself in.
Yeah.
That one where he's in the car, right?
So before that though, there's this other video that somebody else made.
Okay.
And Big U gave it to WorldStar and had them post it. And Wack immediately started legal proceedings and basically was able to get, in his words, a large cash settlement from WorldStar as a result of them posting this video. And now Wack is considering suing Big U because of the video that Big U put out. You remember, like, when everybody else started getting arrested in the Rolling 60s RICO, like Loose Cannon and Brick had been arrested, Big U was still free, and he made a video in his car basically saying that that Wack and 600, Christopher Lovejoy, et cetera, we're telling on him, we're snitching, or working with the government. And Wack's argument is basically, you can't prove that I'm an informant. There's no evidence that suggests that I am. So by you saying that, you're potentially fucking up my business, and so I'm going to sue you for making those false claims.
I mean, suing Big U when he's facing life in prison, no bail, no source of income. Like, what exactly are you suing for? What do you expect out of this except for a legal bill?
Yeah.
No, really. Like, what do you expect out of this? Yeah. Let's just say he wins the lawsuit because Big U doesn't show up to court.
Right.
Which he won't.
Right.
Okay, so you get a judgment.
Against a guy.
There you go, Wack. You get $100,000 from Big U. Big U's like, all right, what's for dinner?
I would assume Big U has no notable amount of money.
Well, whatever money he has is going to his legal defense.
Yeah. So if Wack were to do that, it would just be for the show of it or to make the point, which I think, Wack has been called a snitch by so many people online that I think he would really revel in the ability to, like, legally be able to remind everybody, like, hey, y'all have been calling me a snitch for all of these years, and here I am with a legal ruling saying that I am not a snitch, so, fuck y'all. So I feel like maybe he has a situation with his lawyers where they would be happy to take part in that with him, but it's not like anybody's thinking about that video of Big U where he called Wack a snitch. Like, people say that shit about each other all the time online.
Oh, I've been called a snitch.
Yeah.
I get called a snitch thousands of times every day.
Yeah.
Every day. I'm not exaggerating. Thousands of times every day, if you count comments, social media, people making videos, whatever else, I've been called a snitch. I've been a known DJ since 2002. This has been, 24 years, a quarter of a decade. There has never been anything that come out that has anything to do with me snitching.
Yeah. And then they'll say your interviews were used in a trial.
No, they weren't.
But that's the best thing that they can get is like, oh,
but even that is bullshit because people just make up those, these fake facts. Because when you talk to the people who did get convicted after my interviews, whether it's a Tax Stone or an ARAB or a Casanova 2 times, they'll tell you that the Vlad interview had nothing to do with anything they went through. There was actual snitches, there was actual evidence and so forth. Listen, man, you leave here and you go rob a bank and they say you went to jail because of a Vlad interview, I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
I don't know what you do after you leave here.
But like the closest that I feel like we've come to being involved in any sort of legal proceedings is like when they were rejecting Brick Baby's bail, they had screenshots of him on the podcast where you could see a gun hanging out of his pants, That wasn't involved in the actual charges that were being put on him. That was just the Fed's way of saying this is why he should not get bail, is because look at this, he's a felon and he's doing podcasts with a gun sticking out of his pants.
Yeah.
But like that's the best that they could really say about us or about me.
But even about that situation, did you tell him, hey, put a gun in your pants, it'll make for better content?
No.
Or did he come in having what he had on.
Yeah, so I'm not frisking him at the door. I'm not searching him. You know, I got a gun on me right now. You wouldn't know. This is just like that's a pretty big stretch, and it's pretty far away from Adam is a federal informant. Right. Adam is working with the government to imprison the rappers that he interviews, and people just move the goalposts to whatever the fuck they can.